Hello everyone, welcome to the online class for the course Business Study for class 12. Now we are going to learn about the unit 2, that is principles of management. And this principle of management we will study given by two scholars. One is Henry Ford and second is F.W. Taylor. Okay, in this module, in this unit, you will learn principles of management concept, its significance, principles of management developed by Henry Ford, as well as scientific management. Okay, scientific management concept, its principles and techniques, which is given by F.W. Taylor. So we are going to start our next lesson, lesson 7, which will consist of concept, features and significance of principles of management. Okay, so in this you will learn the concept as well as the significance of principles of management. So principles or managerial principles are broad and general guidelines for making decisions and to guide the behavior. Means this, a manager can apply the principle and can do the work as based upon different principles, so that he or she can give specific or general guidelines to decide on the matters, and it can also guides the behavior of a person, how he or she has to work for the given activity or in an organization, basically. So this principle of management is not rigid, it is flexible in nature. It means if I want to promote an employee, the promotion can be done as per his or her work performance. We can't say that according to this principle we can't say that we will not promote that manager, or we can say, as you already know that if I say management is considered as a science, so because it has some principles. So yes, these are the principles, but they are not rigid, so purely it is not pure, we can say it is a science. Because when we apply something in science based upon some theories and some laws, it has predictable result. But here if I apply managerial principles, we can't say that it will result as I thought it should be. Why it is like that? Because human behavior is ever changing. We can't predict any person behavior, what he or she is thinking about the work to be done by him or her. Means if I say that I have assigned a work to an employee and ask him or her to do that, you have to do this work, likewise that person is not willing to work as he or she is instructed. She want to do the work for her, his or her, development or further increase or further promotion. So she will do the work but not as per the guidance. So in that case we can't say that human behavior is well predicted by any employee or manager, and it can be applied creatively given the demands of situations. Means if I say a principle guiding me something which can not be applied as it is to be applied based upon that principle, so uh, um, it means the situation is something else. My environment is not allowing me to apply that principle, so I can apply it creatively means I can apply it in different way. I can find the alternate solution or alternate ways to make that principle work. Okay, so yes, human behavior is never static, it can't be one. It changes every time, as well as technology also. These two factors, human behavior and technology, it affects the business very much. It keeps on changing, and these changes affects business as well as the principles also, because we have to apply principle as per the changes going on in the market, as well as in the behavior of even consumers, and even if journal way human. Okay, such as if I say a one company, when that much technological advancement was not there, they maybe have some offices in different states or different countries, where they are approaching one by one to make some decisions, or making meetings on the phones, or you can say audio calls, or by giving some emails, or posting some mails through paper post, where we are saying post through post offices. So here is an example where you can see the technological advancement and change in the application of managerial principle. Here saying Infosys headquarters in Bangalore boast of the Asia's largest flat screen in their conference room, from where their managers can interact with their employees and customers in all parts of the world. Infosys company, what they are doing to interact or to communicate with their employees, with their managers, and with the customers, they have one largest flat screen in their conference room, so that they can include each and everyone on that screen and can see everyone, where they are conducting meeting, where they are interacting with them. They have they are interacting for some for making some decisions on any matter, or it can be devising any technique. They are maybe they are doing some market analysis, they are doing some business analysis, anything it can be there. So why, how they are using the technology, as well as they are applying the principle of management and managing the people, the resources, and the company through applying those principles. So here we can say that it is not the same. Managerial principles can't be considered as static. They are not rigid. They are not pure science. So these things you must remember, that management principles are not rigid. They are not pure science. They are based upon human behavior, and they can be applied creatively. Okay. So human behavior and technology both affects business. You must know. So principles and techniques. Principle is something else and technique is something else. How they are different from each other. Let's see. Techniques are some procedures and methods. They are the series of steps to be taken to accomplish any desired goal. And principles are the guidelines, are those rules through which we have to follow um, um, in order to follow a procedure to complete the task. Okay, suppose I am saying that there are 5 steps to manufacture any product, but you have to follow the rules which I have made. That you if suppose there is a manufacturing unit, and you have given one person to work on machinery. Okay, there is a machinery, there is a automatic machinery, where you have instructed that person that these steps you have to follow to make that production, or the to make the smooth flow of moving of goods, okay, from this conveyor. But you are saying him that do not go to the control room, you are not allowed to touch any button despite of these buttons only if if in any case of emergency. But and second thing, you have to follow the rules, that you have to wear overcoat, you have to wear the cap, so that anything cannot be disrupted in between the production process. So these kind of rules which you have to follow. And the techniques means series of steps you have to um, um, you have to keep in mind in order to accomplish any desired goal. So principle and technique both are separate things. Same here, principle and values are acceptable and desirable thing which we have, which are based upon basic truths and guidelines. Okay, they are based upon basic truths and guidelines, means you have to behave like this only. Such as if you are a student, then you have to behave, or we have to you know restrict your actions as per the given rules or code of conduct. You can't go casually, you can't be in your casual wear, you have to wear uniform only. And these what you have to do, you have to wish everyone, you have to respect everyone, and you have to see no one should be harmed nearby you. You can't hurt anybody, and you must do your work on time. You have to be disciplined. You have to be humble. You have to be role model to your juniors. So these kind are the values we you have to possess. Okay, these are the general rules how a person have to behave if he or she is residing in a society or in a group of people through common practices. But principles of management are formed, after so much of rigorous research in work situations. Okay, they are worked upon. They are worked upon and have some research kind of situation or conditions where they are searching if I apply this kind of principle, if I follow this kind of principle, what will be the effect afterwards. Okay, it means they are technical in nature. You are working upon cause and effect relationship. Okay, so here they are saying that while practicing principles of management, values cannot be neglected. We can't neglect or we can't ignore any value. We have to follow, because every business organization has to fulfill, you already learned in the previous class, social responsibility as well as the ethical responsibility, where you can't deny anything which is governed by law. You have to follow the law and the given instructions and the some rules and regulations by the government and the governing body. You can't you have to abide by the rules and regulations of the governing body. Okay, even you have to go with the social practices so that you can develop the society. There you can develop the living standard, you can generate the employment and etc. So that it means principles of management are very important. You have to apply principles of management by seeing the techniques, and even you have to see whether the values are being properly uh, uh, you know followed by the person or not. They are used by the person or not. They are whether they are abiding on this or not. Because if you are not don't have the proper values or moral values or human values, you can't work in a social environment or you can't work in a society. Okay, so some scholars have given definitions such as G.R. Terry. He's saying principle is a fundamental statement or truth providing a guide to the thought or action. It is a fundamental statement. It is a truth which provides guide how you have to do work. Okay, if you do this, if you follow this principle, what will be the effect? And if you are not following, what will be its disadvantages? So, this is what saying principles provide us some guidance to go to specific outcome or desirable outcome. So next is Edwin B. Flippo. This scholar is also saying a principle is a fundamental truth and it is generally stated in the form of cause and effect relationship. Means it is acceptable by everyone, and it is generally stated that it is based upon cause and effect relationship. Means if I apply this, what will be its effect? So, Kuntz and O'Donnell, management principles are fundamental truth of general validity which have value in predicting the result of management action. Means you are applying principles because you know what kind of effect it will give it to me and what will be the desired result. Or if I ask this, if I apply this principle, how people are going to action, going to act in for any activity, or what will be the desired outcome. So you are predicting. Means why you are predicting? Because you know that if this principle is applicable, this will be the effect or this will be the result. So next we will go through the nature features of principles of management. So first one is universal applicability. Means this principles of management can be applied everywhere. It can be in educational institution, it can be in hospital, it can be and every place, whether it is business or it is non-business. Okay, all business जैसे कि industrial units and non-business such as educational institutions, government offices, playgrounds, agriculture farms, army, clubs, and other social organization achieve their objectives by applying these kind of principles only. Because they know that if we apply, we know the outcome, we know they predict the desired outcome, and hence it proves you that yes, this will help us to achieve to the goal or to achieve the desired goal. Next is general guidelines. Sorry, journal guidelines. The principle of management are not definite like the principles of physics and chemistry. It means it is not a pure science. It tells us journal guidelines. If you follow these, you will get these kind of result. Okay, so the principles of management are of the nature of that means you can't apply it strictly. Okay, you can't say that if I apply it will give the exact outcome, because we already know that our market is changing ever. It has some differences before we have seen. So we can't say that if I apply this, if it will give me the desired outcome. Yes, but I know that if I apply it creatively, it helps me, or these general principles guidelines will help me to achieve the desired goal. Okay, next is found by practice and experiment. Yes, these principles are not one day activity, not devised by one day activity. These are practiced on the group of people, or the people are being experimented in order to get that if I apply this kind of principle, what will be its outcome and how will people work. It helps us to understand the mindset of a people and how we can take out the work from the people positively. We can't demotivate anyone, as we you have to direct everyone by motivating everyone, by encouraging everyone. So this helps us to give the positive results. So this will get to know whether this principle will be applicable or not. It requires practice and it requires experimentation. So that's why it is formed on the basis of on or by practice and experimentation by different scholars. Okay, we will learn two famous scholars further. Next is relationship between cause and effect. We already know that if I applied this principle, this this principle, what kind of effect it will give me afterwards, after going through the activity, or if I follow those methods, or if I follow those techniques, or if I follow this principle to be applied on something or to group of people in an organization, what kind of effect it will give to me, whether it will give positive effect, whether it will give me negative effect. Okay, so yes, it is based upon cause and effect relationship. Next is flexibility. I already told you that the market is ever changing. We can't, stop the market to be changed. We have human behavior which always changing. You can't restrict or restrict any mind or restrict any thinking which is going on in the brain of the people. You can't restrict any technological advancement, because in order to have economic development in a country, we need technological advancement, and every person, or the person who are experts in this field, they are working day and night to make those to do those machines and those softwares in order so that they can apply in the industrial area, which will gives us more production in less time with less cost. So it is changing. We can see number of technology which is coming every day, which is new to us. We can't say that we will not go according to this kind of changes in the market. We have to go. If somebody is liking my product today, maybe they don't like my product tomorrow. Okay, or it may be that case where people who are not ready to buy my product yesterday, they will buy my product today, and I can increase my customers. So in this case, it can't be said that this principle cannot be applied. This principle can be applied. So it it is not rigid as the pure science. We can't apply it in a creative manner. Okay, creative, you understand, where a thing can be applied in a way which is based upon which is not rigid. Means कि वो एक जैसी नहीं है, जहां पर आप जैसे मान लीजिए आपको कुछ सिखाया गया है और उस सीखी हुई चीज को आपने अपने तरीके से अप्लाई किया, बिकॉज यू नो दैट इट विल वर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू मी. Okay, you are following your procedures or your methods or your style to apply those things in the organization or in a workplace. So this is flexibility. You can't say that if a person has applied that principle in his or her style, you will follow him or her, whether it may it may happen that that style or that way you are not comfortable with. So it can be applied creatively. That's why this principle of managers flexible in nature. You can apply, you cannot apply. It depends upon the situation or depend upon the desired outcome you want. Next is mainly behavior. Yes, it is based upon mainly behavior, and it is concerned with humans. It ensures a better relationship among the manpower working at different organizational levels, low, middle, and higher. They also establish relationship between human and material sources, because if a person know that how he or she has to deal or has to organize the different resources, she or he will be doing the things or managing the things in a way only. It means mainly behavior. Why we are mean mainly behavior? Because we are applying principles on the person, because we already know that alone physical resources cannot work. We need human capital in order to make something work. So if we know if we can change the behavior of the people, or if we can judge the behavior of the people how they are working, we can minimize the loss, or we can minimize the wastage of resources as well. Okay, that's why we are talking about the behavioral science. Means we are working upon the behavior of the people, and we are also judging the behavior so that we can modify it accordingly, and we can get the desired outcome which we want to achieve. Okay, we already said that we are managing the things because we want to achieve one desired goal. Okay, that goals should be in the favor of the organization, and every person has to work in a harmonious way so that we can get the exact what we have decided and what we have devised. Next is contingent. Contingent principles are not fixed or permanent. Okay, they are affected by situations and circumstances. So decisions to be implemented uh, uh, or not is taken according to situations or circumstances. We have taken one decision, whether it's to be implemented or not, it depends upon the situation or conditions. So we can't say that it is a rigid. If we have planned to apply that, if market allows, or if a condition allows, situation allows, then we can apply. If it does not allow, we can't apply, we will not apply. So that's why it is said that it is a contingent in nature. So significance of principles of management here, how it is necessary for managers to apply those principles of management. Why it is important? Because this helps them to form to know the predetermined solutions. Okay, which can help them to minimize the problems. Okay, so here to get the solutions of the repeated problems, we are managers must know the different the importance of management, or importance of principles of management, why we need to apply these. So first one is it provide useful insight to managers. It provide useful insight to managers. What it means, useful insight means it aware about the manner in which He should act in various situations. It helps or it guides the managers. If he or she will apply this, what will be the outcome? It provides the guidance. It helps the person to reduce the wastage of resources and helps the person to achieve the objectives in less expensive way. Okay, next is optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. We have number of resources. It can be physical, such as material, machines, money, and it also we also have human who are organizing all those resources. So functional management is nothing but to put them to optimum use or avoid wastages. If you are not using the resources available in optimum and proper way, it means you are wasting those resources in order to produce something. We have to avoid those wastages, because if we are wastage is increased or so much during the production, it means we are heading towards the high production cost, and this will also reflects upon the failure of administration. It means we have not directed the person who are working at this level to how to use the resources in a proper way and without wastaging them, how we can produce more. So this, it means we are not effective in administration. So it is possible when a manager makes use of principles of management. The primary need of every organization is that its system should be effective. This is made possible only through the principles of management, because if you are taking the guidelines to manage the things, it will automatically becomes easy for the manager and for that person who is heading that group of people or group of activity. So this helps. That's why we must know the different principles of management. Next is scientific decisions. How it helps us to take these scientific decisions. It means the scientific means a balanced decision, okay, where there should be no error while we are implementing it. So principles of manage provide the necessary training to the managers so that we can't commit errors, and we must take a balanced decision so that we must get that outcome which we expected to achieve. Next is meeting changing environmental requirements. In modern times, only such a business unit can remain alive which can keep pace with the rapidly changing environment. Every field of business activity such as production, marketing, research, human resource, sales, anything, any kind of business activity, new techniques are emerging every day. We have so much of technological advancement nowadays. Different techniques are evolved, different methods are evolved, different processes are being evolved, that everyone is desired to grow, to develop, to increase the sales, to get the high profits. So they are using different techniques in order to get the to get in the uh, pace of race where everyone wants to go ahead of everyone. So that's why there is a changing environmental requirements. They are saying a manager who can understand the changing situation well in time. If you are able to understand the changing situations, you can alone face competition successfully. It means you know what step I have to take now if something is changing in the market, because if I use the traditional ways, it will not be applicable in this modern era, because now changes are so much in the market. Nothing is there which is before. So it means I have to change according to situations, and this and we must I must know how to apply those principles creatively to meet the changing environmental requirements, okay, so that I can compete with other in a way that I can be on the ground of race, and I can achieve more profit in competition with other companies. So it can happen when I know and I know the importance of principles of management, because I know that I have to apply those principles, how I have to apply those principles on the changing situations, on the changing conditions. Okay. Next is fulfilling social responsibility. It is the main purpose, or it must be the part of every manager, that you have to fulfill the social responsibility of managers. So the but how principles? The principles helps to increase the efficiency of the managers. It increases because you know the desired outcome which can be achieved by applying those principles. So they are knowing, they know, if I apply this, I can work effectively and efficiently. More efficient managers can make good quality products at reasonable prices available at all the time. It means they can work for the society. How? If they are efficient in work, it means they are using the resources optimally. And if they are using resources optimally, it means there is less wastage. If there is less wastage, it means they have less production cost, and they have reduced the production cost. And it also means that those resources are the means the resources which is left over can help in the further production, because it is not wasted at all, we have used it properly. This helps us to fix the prices of the product reasonably. If you have less production cost, it means prices will be not as much as if it is it can be if product is, or resources can be wasted. So you are now selling the products at reasonable prices, so it means you are fulfilling the social responsibility. Hence you are estimating and you are defining the quality, as well as you are giving the good quality at reasonable prices. Okay. Management training. Next is management training, education and research. So how principles of management helps to encourage the researchers to bring in more improvement in them. The attitude of managers has molded itself in such a fashion that they are doing consciously or unconsciously something new, because we already know that there is a changing environmental requirements which allow us to apply those principles in creative way. So researchers it helps researchers to improve something, to add on something in these principles to the changing environment. Okay. So principles of management are actually providing education and training to the managers by enriching their theoretical as well as practical framework. Because you already know the principle of management, now you are, what you are doing, you are applying it in the field, or in the field work, or in a situation, or in a workplace. It means you are actually getting a training upon the learned principles. So here there is a chance of some modification and some accumulation of new things into the existing principles of management. Means if something is there which is according to a changing environment, if I applied it in a creative manner, what will be its outcome now? Okay. So this helps a person, and it helps extra guidance to the person. It provides the education, it helps to train the managers to apply those principles in different situations. So this is our module, and this is a lesson that consists of nature, concept, sorry, features and significance of principles of management. Next lecture we will go through the different principles given by Henry Fuel. So for the time being, I want that you must go through this lesson and try to understand the different the basic concept behind this principle of management. And when you will learn the different principle, you will get the whole idea why these are very important in an organization to manage the different work activities, to manage the people and different resources. Okay. So time being, you must stay safe and feel free to ask any doubt. do not get hesitate, and please manage your time, because it is the crucial time which is going on for your syllabus. I want that you should continue learning at home. And dear student, if you have any doubt, you can contact me on WhatsApp, you can text me the doubt, I will provide you the voice clip immediately. Okay, or you can call me anytime. So thank you so much, I wish you good luck. So keep learning and keep working hard.